Okay, applying super elevation to a deck template that I've placed. First, I want to show you that I've turned on my super elevation shape that's applicable for this area where I have my bridge deck placed. And I will also show you that this is a fairly large super elevation shapefile. So it is going to have multiple definitions for each lane and shoulder in the shapes. So just to quickly see which ones are applicable, I can hover over each shoulder, each lane, and see that this is shoulder 1.4 right. This is lane 1.2 right. Lane 1 left, lane 2 left, and shoulder 1 left. So all of those are ones. Now, I'm going to real briefly show you that just the normal element selection tool, and I'm going to try and, there you go, select my deck template. Come over to my properties, and I'm going to go to template and hit this ellipsis just to show you how the points are numbered across the top of the deck. So I had originally set these up to be all clockwise, but when the templates got remade for Connect Edition, it looks like they did not do that. So you have a profile grade, which is where that's right where your alignment is going to be placed. To the right, you've got point 1, point 2 defines your outside shoulder, and then point 6 defines your first left lane, point 7 your second left lane, and then point 8 defines your shoulder. So I'm not going to reselect anything. I just wanted to show you the point layout before we tried to apply super elevation to it. So level display, I want to make sure that I'm still on my bridge deck level. And then I'm just going to come up and assign my super elevation. It'll ask for me to select first super elevation section, come out to the edge of it. It asks, evidently you can define several super elevations if you have several defined for your structure. But I only have the one, so I'm just going to reset to complete, and then it asks me to select my candidate. So I'm going to come down and select the 13-foot approach section. So you can see the start slope for everything left is at a minus 0.3, and then I've got zeros for lane 1.1 and shoulder 1.2. If you remember, those were lane 1.2 right, shoulder 1.4 right. And you can see that the pivot point starts out at profile grade in between your left and right lanes. Going right, it goes from PG to point 1, from point 1 to point 2 for my shoulder. Going left, it goes from PG to point 6, point 6 to point 7, and then point 7 to point 8 for my left shoulder. So that's okay. I typically get this error message, and it's primarily because they define more shoulders and more lanes over here, I think. And as long as everything is defined correctly in the window, you're okay to hit yes to continue. And this applies because we haven't reset our template to be the full width of the bridge deck yet, but we will do that after super elevation is applied, I guess. So I hit yes, it applies it. Now, you then have to come in and look at your approach to see that it actually has been applied. So you can see that 13-foot section has had the super elevation applied, where the rest of the slab hasn't. And then we do the same thing for the other section of the approach. So first, select your super elevation, reset to continue, select your candidate, And again, we need to make sure that we select lane 1.2, shoulder 1.4. All of our template points are the same here and here. Yes and yes. Verify that they match up again. So in the next video, I'll show you, I'm going to go through how to apply the deck constraints to make sure that we define it for the full width of the roadway.